New Age spirituality is nothing but some distorted, weird, varied version of what religion is. All of it is patriarchy. All of it is misogynistic. All of it is 100% inversion of what the truth actually is, of what it means to be if you are living as a divine being. One of the biggest things that you need to realize that, number one, you have to descend into your own darkness. And if you're avoiding looking at yourself, you ain't fucking waking up for real healing shit. That's the truth. Two, you have to be waking up for real, healing for real, raising your level of consciousness for real. So you don't fall into all these goddamn traps of pseudo spirituality every fucking where and new age crap. And the second is you have to learn how to connect to your own soul and listen to the vibratory tone, fingerprint, soul print of your actual soul. You have to have someone teach you how to do that. Welcome to Masters of Self University podcast, your highest source of sacred truths and universal wisdom. Hello, beautiful souls. I'm Rachel Fiori, mystic, spiritual teacher, psychic healer, and founder of Masters of Self University. Join our journey of soul transformation as we deep dive into this latest episode. Hello, magnificent beings. Welcome to Masters of Self University podcast. I'm Rachel Fiori, and here we go. Let's dive into some New Age spirituality bullshit. Let's talk about what New Age spirituality is. Although I've addressed this a little bit in the past, I kind of wanted to go a little bit deeper in this episode and share with you, or dive in and really uncover a lot of what New Age spirituality actually is. The reason why I wanted to do that in this episode is because I have seen people, especially here in the United States, really fumble this desperate searching to get out of this hellhole of a enslavement planet, to get out of survival mode, to heal themselves. And when people are very vulnerable and they're suffering and they're looking for help, you know, we live in a system, in a global matrix of traps. And that's the truth. We live in a global system of traps because that's what patriarchy is. And New Age spirituality is narcissistic psychopathy, which is patriarchy. That's what patriarchy is. And guess what? New Age spirituality is that. It is patriarchy. That's all it is, black and white. It is narcissistic psychopathy. Patriarchy breeds narcissists. So how does a global system run by cult leader psychopaths, how do they make sure people really don't heal themselves and don't wake up for real, raise their level of consciousness, connect to their power, connect to universal truths, and have no fucking idea, no clue, any discernment between goddamn actual divine truth versus my truth or what's false light? I see people I have witnessed this forever. Now, years and years and years, my entire adult life, drowning, and it's getting worse and worse and worse because it's all coming to the surface. People want to heal. They want to get out of survival mode. A lot of people want to heal their traumas. And they, of course, what do you do when you want to heal and you don't know how? What do you do when you want to heal your trauma and you want to get out of suffering, but like you don't know how? You don't know how to do it. You seek, you become a seeker. That's the first level of true spiritual awakening, which many of you know, you've been through it. You start seeking, you seek answers, you seek teachers, you're looking for help. You're looking to, leaders or professionals or people who, you think you might be able to trust. And you look for people that, please help me. Like, I really want to be better. I want to heal myself. I don't want the trauma anymore. I want to get out of, all the abuse that I still hold in my body. And you seek help. You seek teachers and professionals and leaders, et cetera, et cetera. It's a normal, natural process. You're supposed to do that. That is part of awakening. I want to heal. Well, okay, who do I go to help me do this? Because I don't know how to do it. If I knew how to do it, it would have been fucking done. Hello? That right there is what these narcissistic parasites know. They know you're going to go through that phase. They know you're going to seek. They also know how unhealed and how low your level of consciousness typically is when you start to seek help. You don't have the discernment. You don't have the self-empowerment yet. You don't have any of the things. If you were truly healed from your traumas, completely alchemizing all of your programming and actually connected to the divinity of your own soul, and learned and gained the skill that you need to gain through willingness and devotion to hear and get to know your own soul. Okay? Because the biggest trap, the net that's thrown out there in this false light, new age spirituality, which is nothing but patriarchy, narcissistic psychopathy bullshit out there, is they throw the net. You hear the voices. You hear, oh, that's my intuition. Oh, no, it's your fucking mind. No, it's your trauma speaking to you, literally. No, it's entities that you don't know who the fuck is speaking to you, and they just tell you they're a certain entity and you believe it because now you're in your spiritual ego and you think how cool you are and how special you are because, oh my God, my, healing abilities or my psychic abilities are coming online. Oh, look at me, I can channel. And that's another trap. That's a net that's thrown out to trap you, that you're so special. Oh, you can channel. Who the fuck can't? Everybody can to some degree. Varying degrees, varying levels of abilities. That's the truth. Everybody has varying levels of abilities with all of these different kinds of things. Some abilities you're never going to fucking have in this lifetime. It's not for you in this lifetime. It's like saying everybody needs to be a heart surgeon in this lifetime. Nope, don't need 8 billion heart surgeons. We need other people to do other things. It's no different with this stuff. Yet you want to be told what you want to hear that strokes your ego to make you feel better in the moment. Pseudo-spiritualism. That's what new age spirituality fucking is. It's also filled with nothing but my truth, my truth, my truth, which tells you it isn't actually anything that is going to get you healed and whole. Because my truth comes from my bullshit, my programming, my wounds, my ego. That's what that bullshit is. So new age spirituality is filled with my truth crap. I've been saying it for years. I know people come, they hear something. Oh my God, you're so angry. I'm so triggered by you. Why aren't you fucking healed enough? What the fuck's wrong with you? Because here is the truth. People that are here to give you the truth aren't here to tell you what you want to fucking hear. I'm not here to gain fucking followers. As an actual teacher, I am here to give you what you fucking need to hear. I don't care if you like it or not. Get out of your emotional fucking fragility. All of the damn false light leaders that are here to do nothing but trap you, because unfortunately, I'm going to go back to what I started with. When we are suffering and we start seeking, here's what just breaks my heart. We don't yet live in a healed world as a collective, the collective as a whole. That's putting it very mildly. But I say the raw truth about what the fuck world we live in. Patriarchy is a narcissistic psychopathy. That's all it is. It's a system of imprisonment and enslavement. That's what it is. That's what we were born into. We came into this, okay? Unfortunately, because the collective as a whole isn't awakened and healed enough yet, although people are waking up for real all over the place, they are. But when you really start to wake up and you don't want to suffer anymore and you start to seek and search, the sad thing that, and this is what breaks my heart, you don't have the first fucking clue of who you can trust and who you can believe. And the parasitic cult leaders of the world fucking know that. They know that before you get there, before you start to want to wake up, they already have systems in place to throw the net and trap you in it and make sure you stay unconscious by manipulating you and tricking you into thinking you're waking up for real and healing for real by giving you this false light spiritual, new age spirituality bullshit. When I saw the first, not that the first wave of this is even exists in my lifetime, because it doesn't. It definitely doesn't. This has been going on for a long time. However, when I saw the real big, like kind of the first tidal wave come in of this in my lifetime, I knew that the darkness, false light had been planning on this for a long time. And when I saw people just getting trapped left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right, following these psychopaths, these narcissists like Aubrey Marcus, and that whole big thing. And I already did a podcast on that. I've seen a lot of people come forward and do podcasts and, social media posts. And that at least shows me people are actually waking up for real. So that is a bit of a relief to me. But this just sick and twisted, patriarchal, false light, grandiose, narcissistic bullshit that is just the manipulation of what spirituality has been hijacked into. That's what New Age spirituality is. It is so grotesque at this point. And a long time ago, I'm like, I cannot even touch, I don't even want to say the word or refer to myself as like a spiritual person, because it's so misleading and it is so filled with toxic poison. It has been so poisoned at this point, but done by design, very successfully done by design by the parasitic cult leaders of this patriarchal world. They've been very successful temporarily. It's not permanent, temporarily. They were very successful the past 2 decades. I would say the past 15 years, especially. I have watched everybody go down these paths of just fake nonsense, nonsensical bullshit. I'm like, you think that's what it means to be spiritual? How? And not in judgment, not in judgment. I'm not here to judge. I don't judge. And no, I'm not going to talk all the time in some soft, socialized bullshit, fake feminine, what you would call feminine voice, in order to never show any kind of emotion, but try to portray myself as a soft, feminine woman in order to not ever show emotion or passion about anything ever. Go fuck yourself. Get the fuck. That's all false spiritual bullshit too. Step into your fucking power already. Like, are we done with all this fucking crap yet? And the projections. Oh, you're angry. If I'm angry, I'm very happy to tell you, because I am the way of truth. I vibrate as the frequency of the way of truth. So if I'm actually angry about something, I'm happy to share with you that I'm really angry about something. I will let you know that I'm angry. And the funny thing about that is, when somebody who vibrates at a resonance that is a high level of consciousness, they can share that they are really angry about something. What's interesting about it is, when you actually share very genuinely and authentically, you're angry and you're coming from an authentic place. I'm not talking about narcissistic manipulation, wearing masks, and I know what to say to manipulate you. And I know a lot of you have dealt with narcissists, so you know what I'm talking about. Not this fake, I'm going to pretend to be calm. But when you are really angry, you can share that in a normal voice, or your voice, your tone actually tends to get a little calmer. You know why? Because when you're a very awakened person who actually functions in oneness, just because I'm angry doesn't mean I need to project my anger onto you. I don't lash out. I'm not dumping my anger or weaponizing my anger because I'm angry. I don't justify my anger, even if I'm expressing that I'm angry. So a lot of times, what will actually happen if you're really angry and sharing that with a person, you're like, I just want to let you know that without judgment, I'm really angry right now. And then you'll share. And now might not be a good time. It's okay if it isn't, but I want to talk to you about something because I'm really angry. And although I'm processing this anger, I'm not going to project my anger onto you. But this is a conflict that we need to move through together. So let me know when you're ready. That's expressing healthy anger. Again, has to be authentic. Anybody can fake it. I'm not talking about fake mask wearing bullshit. When somebody's very passionate, I am absolutely, as an empowered being, gonna come on here on my own fucking podcast and be as passionate as I choose to be. I am not gonna dim my light as a fucking woman. I am not gonna tone it down because I'm a little woman. I gotta show you I'm the bullshit, made up feminine crap, what it means to be a woman, I don't do that fucking false bullshit. Okay? So if you're not ready for it, that is okay. Move the fuck on. I'm not asking you to stay here. I'm not coercing you into stay here. I'll get paid for this. I offer this for free. You don't want it, fucking move on. This right here is part of the reason why I teach this way. Because I am not some new age spiritual fucking fucktard like the majority of the people that y'all have been listening to for how many years now? Are you waking up for real yet? Jesus Christ. Do you realize, speaking of Jesus Christ, do you realize that when he walked the earth and taught radical truth to wake people the fuck up? Because that's what he did. He taught radical truth to wake people the fuck up. He didn't tell you what anybody wanted to hear. In fact, a lot of people did not want to hear what he had to say. I wonder why he was tortured and murdered and nailed to a cross. You think because most people wanted to hear what he had to say? Is that a clue that maybe he was speaking some truth and not my fucking truth, my truth? He came to break the illusions of what religion and spirituality is. He came to break the illusion. Because the truth is, New Age spirituality is nothing but some distorted, weird, varied, version of what religion is. All of it is patriarchy. All of it is misogynistic. All of it is 100% inversion of what the truth actually is, of what it means to be if you are living as a divine being. And it is just, I keep seeing people get sucked in still. Now, I am now seeing more people wake up for real. That is a relief, finally. But the new way, y'all, listen, I am sorry that it is so challenging to know who the fuck to learn from. And I mean it. I'm sorry because I've seen it for so long. It fucking sucks. I have watched people and gotten very, very frustrated in the past. Like, how do you not see through this bullshit? How do you not fucking see through this? And then the truth is right here offered to you. And you're like, oh, I don't resonate with that. I know you don't. It's the problem. And there's the problem. I've mentioned before, I'm going to come back to this. I've mentioned before that I didn't even want to be associated with the word spirituality. It's like what it's been turned into, the distortion of it is so sickening. There are times when I feel a vibrational frequency of even saying that word, saying spiritual or spirituality, and it just feels sickening sometimes. Again, because of what it's been turned into. It's been distorted for a reason. y'all. Like, I hope that part at least is very easy to understand. As challenging as it can be, who the hell do I learn from? Where do I go? You hear all of these things like the power you have is, within you. The wisdom is within you. That right there, even of itself, is false light teaching. You do. This is where it's so confusing. You do. And yet what you also have in there, because everybody has divinity, like your true self has everything that she needs, that he needs, except anybody teaching that to make sure, because here are the two things that I see in this false new age spirituality fucking bullshit. It's just manipulation and narcissism. There's two main paths, two main categories where the new age movement tries to push you into. And one is you're already enlightened and you have everything inside of you and you don't need another fucking person in the world for anything. Really? Because if you were not suffering so much, like if that were actually black and white truth, why are you suffering? Just stop and let that sink in. Why are you unhealed? Why are you stuck and struggling? Why do you still have suffering? If that were just black and white truth. So maybe that's being put out there to mislead you, so you'll never find the actual help that you need to break free from all this, elevate for real, heal your traumas for real, and rise higher and unplug from this fucking hellhole and create heaven on earth for your own life, for yourself. You ever stop and think of that? Like, let that sink in. And then the other thing, the second pathway, is what I've talked about before, and I'm going to mention again here, is to follow the fucking false light misleaders. They're leading you down a path of false light for a fucking reason, because you will not wake up from that. Not never. Meaning, like right now, if you go down that path, you're not waking up. You're not waking up. You are literally in the same mansion of unconscious enslavement, narcissistic, psychopathic patriarchy. You just went out of one room, went down the hall, and walked through another door of the same fucking mansion. You didn't leave the mansion. You didn't leave the premises of the cult leader. You're still trapped in the cult. You're made to think that you have free will and you walk out of the room and you go down the hall and you get to choose another door. You're still in the same fucking cult. You never left the premises of the cult. You're still trapped. That's what New Age spirituality is, where oh yeah, I'm spiritual, I'm so woke. I've done 17 ayahuasca ceremonies just in the past 2 months. I am so woke. Are you fucking kidding me? That you still think that because you do fucking drugs, that somehow means you're an awakened being. Oh, but we call it plant medicine, so it's not in the same. I'm that fucking distorted and twisted in my own brainwashed mind. I can't ever look at the truth to see that I'm just fucking drug addicted. Really? Which is why you follow people like Aubrey Marcus, a sex addict and a drug addict. Can't do fuck all just because you use the spiritual language. Oh, it's a sacred ceremony. How dare you use your drugs and brainwashing and then just throw in the spiritual language, and that somehow makes it like authentic spirituality? That's not how spirituality works, in case you haven't figured that out yet. Constantly throwing in 5-MeO and ayahuasca and whatever the fuck, name them all. Just because you're doing these, oh, it's psilocybin, oh, it's plant medicine, oh, it's that somehow means it's authentic spirituality because you call it a sacred herb or from the earth. That's like, have we really given away any last ability to use critical thinking skills for ourselves? to just completely feel that tiny little bit, that teeny tiny crumb of intuition that goes, and then you're like, oh, what was that? Let me stay in my mind and think, or just use drugs and go on some trip. But, look at what we're wearing. It's a sacred ceremony. Come on. And especially in the United States. I mean, it's just embarrassingly disgraceful. But we're all waking up. If that's what you want to think in your delusion. It's so hilarious because I get people in my comment section that will say, if your delivery was different, I'd listen to you. Oh, go fuck yourself. You're so full of shit. You're drowning in New Age spirituality. You can go fuck yourself. That's my response to you. Because you know what? If you had any fucking ability to hear what the truth is, you'd be lit up by what I say and how I fucking say it. You would be fucking lit by it. You'd want to do something about it. You would want to change this world and do nothing but whatever it takes to make this a more harmonious, loving place to live on. And by doing that doesn't mean you become a fucking pacifist and talk in a soft tone and watch your delivery. Because you know why? It's inauthentic. I don't function that way. It's inauthentic. And I'm not on here to be fake and to wear some fucking mask so that enough of you like me. How many episodes are we at so far? Have I ever put on some mask in order to get people to like me? Never going to happen. Never did. Never going to. It never will. If you can't fucking handle it, that is okay. I don't judge you for that. Move the fuck on. Because enough is enough. Haven't you had enough? Like, aren't you so sick to death of being sick and tired of being sick of all this false light bullshit, people just knowing next to nothing? You don't know fuck all, but you're suddenly a spiritual teacher. Do you have any idea what it takes to become a being that is divine on this fucking planet? Let me say this again, because maybe you'll start to, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. She's awakening something in me to help me gain a little bit higher level of discernment. I've said it a million times over. If you realize the planet that you chose to be born into, this is a psychopathic prison planet of enslavement. You're enslaved beings. All of you are. We all are until you are no longer. And until you're no longer isn't some fucking somebody waves a goddamn magic wand and a savior saves you all. Wake the fuck up for real. You were born in to fucking hellhole because patriarchy hijacked this feminine planet, dominated it, took over, and took slaves of the entire human race, animal race, nature race, and all of the mystical beings that we used to share this planet with. Do you understand that we used to have the most magical, incredible, mystical, divine beings that we got to share this planet with and live next to? We got to live with these incredibly divine beings. Why do you think they're all in quote unquote fantasy movies? You see dragons and fairies and unicorns, and it's all over the whole fucking planet, in cartoons, in comic books, in video games, in movies, in TV series, you name it, they are everywhere. But where do you see them? Because they're made up? They're not made up. We all shared this earth together, and it has been destroyed. They have been murdered to the point of almost extinction. So they left. What few of them were left, they left. That includes unicorns and dragons. They go to a higher vibrational frequency. We sunk so low They don't want to be seen because humans are fucking wretched. Waking up for real is realizing what you are missing out on by not being extremely high level of consciousness and what it actually fucking takes to get there. You don't do fucking 19 plant medicine journeys and meditate for 20 minutes a few times a week and go to your fucking yoga class and think that you're a goddamn divine being. That's not how this works, people. It takes a lot more than that because you were born into hell. You literally are here to walk through the coals of fucking hell. Look around. How many wars are going on right now? At least a couple. How much genocide? How much violence? How many men are raping women as I do this, record this, and as you're listening to it? Raping women, raping babies, men are raping children, men are raping fucking animals. Literally, they're fucking raping animals to death in a lot of cases. Some of them are fucking dead animals and dead women that they just murdered. Oh, can you not handle the truth? Well, that's your emotional fragility. Your emotional fragility is not my fucking problem. You're not even powerful enough to handle what's going on. We have, and I'm not going to say the word, certain, because it's trigger word, not trigger like, oh, you're too emotionally fragile to handle this. Wake the fuck up and heal yourself so that you can handle the fucking truth. I don't do that. I mean, so that this video will be taken down. There are raids going on in the United States right now. Probably that word alone will trigger this. Where people are just being taken and held in detention centers. And the people of this country, some of them are dumb enough to buy into the propaganda of, oh, really, they're not, how do I say this without getting this video taken down? They don't have their papers properly in place. Let's say it that way. You really, are you that dumb that that's what you think is going on? Okay, that's what we're still at. Okay. Meanwhile, human and, sex, fill in that blank, is the biggest global sadistic problem on the planet. And it's happening right in front of us, but, masked and presented like it's something else so that people can just get snatched up. But, okay. How does that fall into New Age spirituality? It's a piece of the puzzle. It's a piece of the puzzle. How? How is that connected? I'm not following you, Rachel. I know. Because with that stuff going on, you either don't know what to do to help. You're like, I have no idea how to change this. And you feel like you want to help, but you don't know how. Sometimes powerless and hopelessness, and that is in there too for some people. Okay. But you want to help. You don't know how to make this stuff stop. There's also it's not my problem. I don't see it outside in my yard. So it's not on my front doorstep. So kind of don't want to get involved. Right. And this is for any topic, not just the one I just mentioned, by the way. War, any and all of it. Because this is a trap. This is where I'm coming back to New Age spirituality. These are the traps. The nets are thrown out to catch in them. Then you have all these false light spiritual plants and just people who are so dumb and blind that the second they start getting onto spirituality path, they're like, I know everything. I took one class, or I took whatever for a weekend, or I did a weekend retreat, and now I'm a spiritual teacher, or I'm a blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay. That's all it took. That's like saying, because you picked up a book on human biology And it's one of the textbooks that medical students use. Somehow that makes you a physician. That's what's happened to New Age spirituality. It is so fucking watered down and dumbed down that everyone thinks in this grandiose way about themselves, or you're waiting for your savior to come for you. Like, it's unbelievable. You get sucked into these cult leader psychopaths. And by the way, could we just mention here very quickly, like, oh, I should have made a list. Think about a lot of cult leaders that we know of in history, other than this most current one, Aubrey Marcus, John of God, Jim Jones. Gosh, what the heck are their names? Like Warren Jeffs, David Koresh was one. I think Joseph Smith was that one. Anyway, David Berg, I think, was another one. Manson, of course, was a really crazy one. But anyway, they're all men. Like 9.9 out of 10 fucking cult leaders in our history have all been men, are men, and filled with lust and sex and, you know, polyamory and polygamy. And by the way, when I say that, that's the fucking truth. I'm not telling you don't go choose to do what you choose to do in your life. That's not what I'm saying. If I was going to say that, I'd fucking say it. That's not what I'm saying. Don't put fucking words in my mouth, because I'll just call you out on your fucking projections and your bullshit. I don't care. Like, that's what an authentic person will do. I don't give a fuck what you think, or like what your misperceptions are. I'm going to call the shit out. But it is the truth that's what they always try to set up. There's always sex involved. There's always lust. There's always some sort of, especially now in this new age bullshit, it's drug addiction being masked because it's plant medicine. That's how we justify it. And then we are so totally irresponsible. And the sex addiction, I have no control over my own lust, but I'm going to justify it by putting new terms and spiritual terms. I'm going to make up words like radical monogamy. And this is what I'm going to do to justify and to put a spiritual twist to it. Like, all of this stuff is such horse shit, and all of it's new age spirituality, and new age spirituality isn't new. It isn't new. It's just patriarchy. Have you realized yet who you're following and who you're listening to, and the stereotypes of who you continue to go listen to? And although some of it is changing, because I will give credit where credit's due. I do see it changing. But I'm talking about this and bringing this up in this episode because if you cannot learn to lead yourself, you can't lead anybody else. And leading yourself means you've gone through the proper channels to do the deep, dark work and descend into yourself in every aspect of your darkness, your programming, your brainwashing, your conditioning, all of it. Okay? If you can't lead yourself into your darkness and shine the light on your own narcissism, your own ego, your own insecurities, your own wounds, your own inequality programs that you run that you've been unwilling to see, your own misogyny, man or woman. Just because you're a woman doesn't mean you're not misogynistic, patriarchal, fucking fill in that blank. You are. You can be. And I see them all over the place. Just because you're a woman, you don't get out of jail free just because you're a biological female. Like, you being a woman does not mean you're not misogynistic. Some of the most toxic masculine traits I see are in women. Very toxic, unhealed women. And never a judgment. It's just, that's what we're dealing with here. Okay? But there is a trend because we've come into the prison planet hellhole of patriarchy that does nothing but turn men into monsters and women into slaves. And like, aren't you just sick of it yet? There is a part of me that, I get really sad sometimes and I have to really process. And I just cry over the fact that people are so lost and need the right kind of help. And yet they can't even fucking tell the difference with the right kind of help. And they flock to these, they're so familiar energetically to these fucking cult leader, manipulative bullshitters. They're so desperate for that to be the one that's going to lead them and help them. And they say all the right spiritual lingo, don't they? So I get asked a lot by people, why do you teach the way you teach? Because it's fucking authentic. Because I give mystical truths of oneness consciousness. Period, fucking end. And I do that because it's so fucking needed on this planet. We are desperate for sacred truth, not made up fucking bullshit. So, two big things. If you don't want to be led astray by religion, by pseudo spirituality anymore, by false healers and false teachers and false prophets and blah, 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 the number one thing you have to fucking do is look at where you're justifying your choices in life. Where do you avoid your own shadow? You have to fucking do your shadow work. You are not an awakened being if you don't. Anybody that says otherwise, I'm not going to judge anybody. I don't give a fuck. I'm free. I live as a being of oneness. So guess what? I don't have to worry about a lot of things that a lot of people worry about because I've set myself free from this prison planet. That's why I teach other people how to do it too, because I've done it. You have to fucking go into your darkness and face your shadow. That is number one. If you're not doing that, and I mean for real, not bullshit, spiritual bypassing, love and light only crap, or creating codependency and enmeshment. Oh no, we go face our shadows and we all cry together. But can you also do that by yourself? If you had nobody in your community, because look, at Masters of Self University, this is a metaphysical university. We heal trauma here. We teach you how to do that for real, not bypassing bullshit. Okay. We have online community for just the general public, but we also have one for all of our students, clients, etc. Like they have a place to go to support each other when they're really struggling. And guess what? Everyone in that community steps up and supports one another in the most magnificent, beautiful way. And yet also, not instead of or, one or the other. That's not oneness. Also, if you had no one that day, none of our certified coaches and none of our like anybody from that can lead you and guide you at this university, if you had none of them available, if you had none of the other students and people in that community, if no one responded to you and nobody existed for you that day to support you, what would you do? As much as you want support, do you have the skill to go in and do it yourself? That's what we fucking teach you how to do here. And it's for a reason. No one is elevated if they don't learn how to do that. No one. So, New Age, part of New Age spirituality fucking bullshit is to trick you and trap you into needing other people, to be so dependent upon others that you never can do it just by yourself when you are in emotional agony. And I'm here to tell you, yes, you fucking can. You just have to learn how. It doesn't mean suffer alone. Not what it means. It means when you are alone and there's no access to outside support, because like, guess what? That's fucking real life sometimes. You know how to drop in, how to work at the quantum level of energetics and you know how to detach from that shit, you know how to alchemize it, you know how to rise up to one of the frequencies of the ways of oneness, you become what you think you need from someone else outside of you. You become it on an energetic level, and you heal yourself in those moments, because that is the power you have within. If you are not learning how to descend into your darkness and transform it into the light that you are, the truth of what you are, then I'm sorry. It's pseudo bullshit, new age, fucking surface level, bypassing spirituality nonsense. That's the fucking truth. You go do whatever you want to do. I don't judge people for what they choose. I am going to tell you the truth about what you choose. There's a difference. I am going to tell you the goddamn truth about what it is you're choosing. I'm a teacher. I will teach you what you're doing as the way of wisdom. I will teach you. You choose it, go ahead. That's your life. That's not my journey. That's your journey. You want to stay trapped in that. That is okay. Go for it. If that's how you want to learn, and that's how you're choosing to learn what you need to learn, that is okay. I'm never going to judge that. But I'm going to tell you the truth in what you're choosing. You want to go find out for yourself? Go. But that's one of the biggest things that you need to realize, that number one, you have to descend into your own darkness. And if you're avoiding looking at yourself, you ain't fucking waking up for real healing shit. That's the truth. Two, you have to be waking up for real, healing for real, raising your level of consciousness for real. So you don't fall into all these goddamn traps of pseudo spirituality every fucking where, new age crap. The second most important thing that you need to realize, and I hope you take this seriously. I've already touched on it. I already said it, but I want to make it clear, these two main things. Descend into your own darkness, do the shadow work. And the second is, you have to learn how to connect to your own soul and listen to the vibratory tone, fingerprint, so to speak, soul print of your actual soul. You have to have someone teach you how to do that. I don't need anybody to teach me how to do that. I can do that. I mean, I don't know what my soul feels like. I'm following my heart. I know how to do that. My intuition. Meanwhile, I go see people fuck their fucking lives up, their relationships, because they fucking know it all. And it's like, okay. Do you think with all of this brainwashing, all the propaganda, all the false light bullshit, all the new age spirituality fucking horseshit that's out there, you have any fucking clue what your goddamn soul actually feels like, what it sounds like, what it is when he or she communicates with you to guide you, to nudge you? Because I see it constantly. Oh, my intuition is telling me, no, that's actually your 6-year-old inner child wound, who is sick to death of listening to mom dump on her and not listen to her and not be emotionally safe. That's actually your 3-year-old inner child, wounded inner child, who is completely abandoned and doesn't understand where dad went. Where the hell did dad go? Dad's missing. Dad's not here. Dad abandoned the family. Boom, big surprise there in patriarchy, to be fatherless. And then, probably have 9 other children with 9 other women. All of those traumas are you talking to you. It is your mental programming telling you, do this, don't do that. It doesn't make it actual. That's all my truth bullshit. That's where my truth comes into play. I'm going to follow my heart. I wouldn't. Fuck, do you even know what that means? Sounds nice. Oftentimes we say those things to justify what we're choosing, even if what we're choosing is fucked up and unhealthy. And you don't know the difference, because sometimes you listen to your intuition and you get it right. And other times you're listening to your fucking mental programs. Other times you're listening to your traumas. You don't know the goddamn difference among any of them. Other times you're listening to your inner child, who you think then you're being so empowered because you're like angry and expressing your anger. And you're a 14-year-old or a 16-year-old rebelling against mom or dad because you're so angry that they weren't there for you emotionally and they were terrible parents. And you're like, yeah, this is me empowered. You can't tell the fucking difference. No, it isn't. It's a 16-year-old. Read the energy. This isn't a healthy anger. This is a bratty fucking teenager who's angry, unhealed, trapped trauma is in here, and you're angry because you don't know how to alchemize it and heal it, and you're angry at your parents. That's not healthy anger or empowerment. That's not power, divine power. And yet this is what I see constantly. And I share it with you for a reason. If you're so unconscious and unhealed that you think that I'm sharing this with you because I'm judging you, and I don't even know what the fuck half of you make up in your fucking heads when you listen to this. Oh, because let me tell you something. Sitting here recording in front of a goddamn computer screen isn't exactly the funnest thing that I do in my free time. This isn't something that I love to do. Okay. As an authentic teacher of oneness consciousness, the way that I heal, the way that I teach, I much prefer to be in class live, to teach live in person. Okay. Like having a podcast is something that I do as the way of selfless service to offer free things to people who maybe can't afford yet to be a student at Masters of Self University. So I'm not doing this because this is fucking fun for me. I don't want to talk to a fucking computer screen. Don't enjoy it. Don't like it. Okay. Rather not. I do it because I'm devoted and I am the way of selfless service. And because of all the false light, new age, spiritual horse shit out there, there's got to be one drop of an authentic teacher offering you teachings that can help transform yourself and your life and your world and your everything. There's got to be one drop out there in that ocean of new age spirituality, manipulation, narcissistic psychopathy that is patriarchy, that is false spirituality, pseudo spiritualism. In that ocean of that horse shit, if there's one drop put out there to offer to you, here you go for free. This is for you. So that maybe when you're swimming and drowning in that ocean of spiritual fuck all, you'll come across that one drop and it might help you. That's why I do it. That's the truth. That's why I do it. I don't do it because this is something I enjoy doing and this is fun. I don't like talking to a fucking camera. I can't stand it. I don't like it. It's not fun. But I know that it's important, and I know that it helps people to actually get higher teachings out there and to offer it in a way that is accessible to anybody. So if there's nothing else you can do right now, you can at least have this, or like our free online community. Like you can join our community. That's another reason why we have that. That's why I do those things. Okay. Like, and I really hope you hear what the message is in that. That's why I do it. This is not like there's a lot of other things I would rather do than to sit and talk to a fucking camera. It's not exactly fun. Okay. Teachers want to be with their students. That's all I want to do. I want to be with my students. I want to help. I want to show them. I want to mentor them. I want to offer healings in a way where they know that they can replicate and do it themselves. Like, that's all I'm here to do on this planet, is to give what the actual truth is. And I'm going to punch you in the fucking face with it. There's one more thing. Third thing. You have got, if you want to heal and rise out of all this and not be brainwashed again and not fall into the false light traps that are out there, there's a third thing that I'm going to offer to you. And that third thing is, anytime you start to feel special, there's a red flag. I know. Seems weird. When you feel special and you want to feel special, be very fucking careful. You are walking on the side of I can be manipulated, I can be brainwashed, I can be tricked, I can be used, I can be abused by someone outside of me. That includes, by the way, there are beings that exist that are going to communicate with you when you want and are ready to communicate. Your psychic channels open up more and more. There are beings that will communicate with you, and there's all types of beings. You are a multidimensional being. Everybody has the ability to do this. Again, varying degrees of it, but everybody has the ability to do it. You yourself are a multidimensional being. Of course, you have the ability to do that. Okay. But if you feel special, you can easily be brainwashed. You can fall into the new age spirituality nets, the trap that they throw out there to following false light, bullshit, often planted fake gurus. Ugh. You have to heal the need to feel special. This goes back to the first thing I told you had to do. Number one, do your shadow work. Heal your fucking traumas and heal in a way where you can do it by yourself. That does not mean don't get help and don't seek the professionals that can help you. Never said that. I wouldn't have Masters of Self University in existence if that's what I taught. I don't teach that. Because here's the truth. If you could just do it on your own, you'd be fucking healed already, wouldn't you? Hi, we need help from experts and professionals, true, actual, authentic teachers who can help you. We need that. Yes, there's nothing wrong with that. Seeking out the best, highest people that you possibly can in order to guide you through all your shit, to get rid of it all. Heal the trauma, heal your shadow. Okay, that is a process. That takes time. That is not something you're going to be fully healed overnight. Doesn't exist. Okay, but where people fall into the biggest trap, I would probably most often, in so many different ways, I could do a whole nother podcast episode just on this topic alone. I mean this sincerely to you, that need to feel special. So you start to get a little psychic, and then all of a sudden here comes that specialness. Oh, look at me, I can do this, I can do that. Oh, you're falling into a trap. That's where you're not powerful enough yet to not get sucked into some kind of community that is new age spirituality or occult community. You're not here to be special. And what's incredible is the more you awaken, your divine specialness organically kind of comes online. But that's for you. That's just, it's like this beautiful bond of a relationship between you and your soul, because you're a soul having a human experience. That means as a multidimensional being, you are a soul, you are also human. You're both. The problem is most people don't live integrated in that at all. They start to awaken a little bit, and then they don't want to be human anymore, and they go all spiritual woo-woo, what the fuck, and then you're following false light gurus, trapped in drug addiction, sex addiction. But no, this is what oneness is. No, it fucking isn't. It's disgusting. You're being hijacked. Your bodies are being used, abused, and hijacked by other people. You are also using, abusing, and hijacking other people's mental bodies, emotional bodies, spiritual bodies, and physical bodies. We are so reckless, and yet we call it spirituality. We need to wake up for real. Because to be harmlessness and gentleness means we wouldn't cause harm to myself or to another. Neither one would I cause harm to. That's what harmlessness and gentleness is. That's what every universal way of oneness is. It is one. These are enlightened frequencies of oneness. They are ways of being. It is a structure to create a completely new existence and a new way to live that is completely, and I mean all of the false light, patriarchal, old earth is completely abolished in this new way. It is the most, in a certain sense, it's the most ancient way to live, but it is a quote unquote new way in the sense that is for us today to live as these, to become them ourselves. Okay? You need to let this sink into you. Please comprehend this when I say this to you. The cult leader parasites that run the world knew this was coming and they were prepared for it in order to ambush you. They knew there was a great awakening coming. Do you understand? They knew before you ever fucking even heard what awakening was, before you even heard the term spirituality. These parasitic cult leaders of this patriarchal hellhole, they knew this was going to happen. The great awakening was inevitable. It was going to happen. Masses of people in the collective were going to wake up and wake up for real. And their only shot at stopping that, and they threw a detour in it. They were very successful in detouring this. They were very successful because they've known that this was coming. They knew it. So they set up preemptive strikes. They set up the roadblocks. They threw out the nets to fucking trap you in, to pull you in because you're not healed enough, divinely independent enough, and connected to your power enough. So they want to put all this false light bullshit about what it means to be in your power, like my truth crap. Well, but my truth says I should do this. My truth says I should bring in 5 more women in my fucking relationship, even though I can see it's destroying my wife. That's not spirituality. That's narcissistic abuse and sex addiction. The fuck? You wouldn't harm somebody that you actually loved and then just tell them transcend that, because I know how to use spiritual language to gaslight you. Oh, just transcend that. That just needs transcendence. You need to go into that, pretending like that's how you do shadow work. What the fuck? And then re-traumatizing and re-traumatizing to where you just lose who you are. You lose your sense of self, divine self. That isn't an authentic spiritual, oh, you need to go through this painful death and rebirth cycle. That's not what that fucking is. It's manipulation. It is destroying the soul of that person. But that's what patriarchy does. All the while telling you, you're a goddess, you're powerful, you're a god, you're a king, you're a queen. Let me use all the language to make you feel special in 1 minute and then fucking pound you out of left field the next, and then tell you, oh, that just needs to be transcended is all. Can you see through it yet? The fact that so many people go down these paths of being so spiritually brainwashed, meaning false spirituality, obviously, new age bullshit, woke culture bullshit, where they're in these cults of just everything's lust and sex, constantly touching each other and having sex and having kids. And then I don't even need to go into it, but like, listen, if you had any actual idea of the sacredness of your energy, your soul, and how your soul functions in your physical vessel, you wouldn't do any of that. Don't you dare go into, oh, the only way you would live life is through abstinence either. Not true. Do you understand? Please understand me when I offer this to you. I know I've said it 1,000 times. I will say it probably 1 billion more before I die. And I'm going to keep saying it until it fucking sinks in deeper with y'all. Aspects of the actual truth are always taken by these fucking assholes, and it is used. They are always giving you a degree of truth, sometimes 90% truth. They'll give you mostly truth so that you are conditioned and trained to deny and dismiss the 10% that's bullshit, that's fucking lies, that's manipulation, that's coercion, spiritual fraud. You get used to dismissing the 10%, then guess what? Then they can give you 80% or only 10% truth one time. They can come out with, this is radical monogamy. Fucking horseshit. ISIS told me to get these two women pregnant. Blech, vomit, fucking narcissist, abusive piece of shit. Because when you're conditioned enough over the years to dismiss the 10% that's like, what the fuck? Why are you dressed up like a devil right now after a whole sexual thing? Is this really spiritual? Oh, but you're so charismatic and you cry in front of the world. You put your hands on people and heal them. You're putting your hands on people like John of God. You put your hands on people and you're healing them. You're healing women. You can't possibly be coercing them into giving you blowjobs and sex. Couldn't possibly be sexually abusing women when you're putting your hands on all these people, healing them, right? Because when you yourself are not focused on elevating out of your shadow and every aspect of your shadow and what that means for real, then that's how these false light assholes can use you and abuse you and manipulate you and trick you. They trick you because they are always giving you degrees of truth. That's why it's believable. That's why it's confusing. Because you can feel some truth in this or that until there's no fucking truth in it. Then they come out with, then they hit you because they've groomed you for years. Then they hit you with some psychotic fucking what the fuck. And you're like, whoa, wait a minute. And then you get really confused. And then a lot of people just justify away and try to rationalize it. And because you've groomed them to do that. That's how this works. That's how it works. And it is more prevalent. It is so prevalent because they want to make sure you then can't tell the fucking difference between who the real goddamn teachers are, who are here to help you wake up for real and unplug from this sadistic fuck show of a planet run by these psychopaths. You won't be able to tell the difference. Those parasitic cult leaders knew the Great Awakening was inevitable. They knew around what time it was going to happen too. And they fucking prepared for it, which is why all these false light misleaders exist in our collective across social media on all these platforms. Why do you think they were given the money and the platforms to rise up and to be heard by millions? Let that one sink in too if you haven't realized that part already. They were given the platforms in order to mislead you because they're the misleaders. You have to learn what discernment actually means. It is an energetic process, and your discernment raises with your level of consciousness. As your level of consciousness rises higher, your ability to discern is challenged in a new way at every level that you go higher. I teach these in classes at MSU. Like, you can learn all this stuff as a student. Those of you who are students know exactly what I'm talking about, especially year 2 students, because you're learning energetic discernment You don't just have discernment or not have discernment. There's no such thing as that. Nobody has that. It isn't black or white. That's the old patriarchal bullshit duality consciousness crap. There's no such thing as that. When you raise your level of consciousness, let's say you mastered this level down here, now you're a level higher. Now you have to learn how to function at this new level of consciousness. There is a whole brand new level of discernment that comes at that level. You don't just have discernment at that level. It's not how it works. You have to gain discernment. How do you gain discernment? Isn't about blindly listening to anybody, and it's never about going into your head. Okay. Again, I offer as much as I possibly can to you for free. I really do. And again, I do it for a reason, but I tell this to you, and I know I've said this again. I know I'm repeating myself and you're probably sick of it. I'm going to keep repeating it. You cannot learn all of this stuff through a fucking podcast. You can't. It's not possible. You have to be willing to devote yourselves to grow for real and to heal for real. Everyone should be devoting themselves to that. Everything in your life, that should be a number one priority, because you're no good to yourself or anybody else. Friends, family, kids, your job, your business, your whatever. If that's not your number one priority, it should be your number one priority. And it should just be a life decision. It's like, oh, I'm going to be healthier. This is healthier. This is part of being healthier, not just changing eating habits. It's important to know that and to realize that. Okay. We are in very turbulent times. Okay. I don't want anybody to believe anything blindly, no matter who the person is. So, whoever you are, wherever you are, I wish you luck. And of course, this is what we teach. You have the resources. I have the resources here for a reason at mastersofselfuniversity.com. But whether you use us or not, or learn from us or not, I hope you take the tips that I've given you today very seriously. You have to do the deep inner work. You have to go to your shadow. You have to dive into your traumas with professionals who know how to guide you for real. And look, I'm sorry that it's so hard out there to find those people for real and to know who the fuck to trust and who not. That's done on purpose. The Great Awakening was inevitable. These cult leaders knew it, and they are trying. This is their Hail Mary. They're trying everything to make sure you don't know fuck all. You can't discern anything from anything, anyone from anyone. You don't know who the fuck to trust, and you'll just give up and not wake up. You'll just give up and not heal. You'll just give up and keep suffering. That's done to you by design. It's the point. You'll get so fucking lost in the sauce that you'll never wake up for real, and that benefits the patriarchal world to still hang in there for a little while longer. Whether you're lost in the sauce and never wake up for real because you think you're waking up, or you just completely give up, or you're like, I don't know who to try. I guess I'll just go find Jesus. Let me go to religion. Well, then patriarchy wins in all those scenarios. They stay alive longer in all those scenarios. That's done by design. Those are the nets that have been thrown out to trap you. I know. It fucking sucks, doesn't it? I mean, it really sucks. It's horrible. People are not grounded in their humanness enough. They're not healed and embodied in their humanness enough to build the foundation to wake up and become extraordinarily high level of consciousness, generally speaking. You get your psychotic breaks, you get your spiritual psychosis, you get traumatized way more because you're following false like bullshit, narcissistic sex addict fucking pieces of shit out there. It's all of this stuff is going on. So when I say to you, and I've said this before, welcome to the spiritual war, because that's what this is. It's a spiritual war. This is what spiritual war looks like. So my encouragement to you is, no matter what, on your darkest day, breathe, love yourself, nurture yourself. Don't fucking give up. Just don't fucking give up. Take your breaks. Take a day to drown in your sorrows if you need to. Don't suppress it. But don't fucking give up. Don't give up. I have the resources here at Masters of Self University for everybody on the globe for a goddamn reason. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to try. I don't ask you to blindly trust me. I never ask the students that go to this university, ask the certified coaches that I certify, train, mentor. Ask them. I tell them all the time, don't you just blindly fucking trust me. Read the energy. Are you reading the energy? Ask them. I am here to create masters on this planet, not motherfucking followers. I'm here to create masters. True leaders that can lead as you become an actual divine leader yourself. You can lead others out of the depths of hell that we're in. Masters. I am here to create masters, not a bunch of fucking followers. Masters. So whether you ever come to MSU or not, I'm not Tasha, that's okay. I hope you find your way wherever you go to get help. And no matter what, if you go somewhere and it turns out to be shit, listen, learn from it. Why was it shit? Where was the false light? Where was the manipulation? Reflect, 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 reflect. You can do it right now, I'm sure, with other people you've listened to or programs you've attended or whatever you've done. Go back and reflect. Where was the manipulation? Where was the bullshit? Where was I running programs of insecurity or neediness or specialness? I felt so special. Whatever the fucking programs are, you have to go do to the best of your ability that shadow work on yourself, and you have to get raw and real with yourself. That is radical truth. That's the way of truth. Don't you blame yourself. Don't you dare. Don't you shame yourself. Don't you dare. That's not what this is about. It's seeing truth. Where were you misled? But where did you fall for it? That's not blaming. That's not shaming. It's seeing. Because if I see that and I get familiar with that, I might be a little bit better with the next person that I want help from. You're not going to be able, at certain levels of consciousness, when you really truly need help out of your trauma, you're not going to be, you do not have the level of discernment. That's why they prey on you. If you were educated for real, you would understand what I just said. It's not possible to have level high discernment in these moments when you're filled with trauma. They don't go hand in hand. That's a mismatch energetically. That's why they prey on you. And that's why these false light leaders prey on you when you're real young. Easier to brainwash and manipulate. You're not in your power yet. You're not the way of wisdom yet. So, listen. I cannot emphasize enough that I just hope every single one of you finds the light and the power for real and the right side of divinity, and you find that within yourself and you heal. I want you to focus on nothing else in this lifetime but to heal and elevate yourself. Wherever you go, whatever you find that is actually real and authentic, if it works and it is actually real, fucking go for it. I support that 100 million billion %, as long as it's real. None of this false light shit. You've got to learn to start to wake up and see through the horse shit. And, of course, you have the resources here if you want them. That's why I exist on the planet. Because my soul also knew this time was coming. I've known in this lifetime this time was fucking coming. Mass confusion, mass chaos. People don't know which way is up and down. When you come from the inversion, where everything is upside down and backwards, and then you start to learn a little bit of the truth and you're starting to right side up everything in your life, it's very confusing and it's very chaotic. It's just the way it is, and you got to go through it. You have to move all the way through it and learn from it every step of the way. Learn from it. It's a cycle of wisdom if you're willing to learn from it and you make the choice to grow from it. Like, I can have terrible things happen to me and just say, okay, I'm going to use that as a catalyst. It's my free will choice to use that as a catalyst to become more powerful, wiser, more responsible. It doesn't mean there's no shaming of who you were. Manipulation is manipulation. Don't victimize the victim a second time, and that includes yourself. You don't shame yourself. You see, you learn, you grow. There's a difference there. That is my hope for you. I hope you take that as seriously for yourself as I take that for myself and for you. All right? Once again, go to mastersofselfuniversity.com if you would like more resources and more help and enroll in the university. And if not, I wish you the best of luck no matter where you go to seek and find help and answers. I really, really, really hope you find it for real. Beware of New Age spirituality. Beware. And maybe I'll do another episode on what it really means to be a high level mystic. I'm a mystic. What it really means to be a mystic, what it really means to be an actual priestess, for example, not for the fucking specialness and the titles, y'all. Like they've done everything to ruin what these things even meant in ancient times and during enlightened times on this planet. But what does it really mean? And you're not just that because you fucking say you are. And because it's a title that you put next to your fucking name, just because it sounds good. That shit's got to go. It's all false. It's all surface, nonsensical, and it's embarrassing. And especially in the United States. Y'all got to knock that shit off. It needs to be real and authentic. And you got to fucking earn it by becoming it. That's what I'm here to teach. On the path of a mystic of oneness, that is what I'm here to teach. Real, authentic, what spirituality actually is. But I don't even want to fucking call it that anymore because it makes me sick to even say that word and refer to what I teach as that. It's just sickening to me what it's been so hijacked. But really get serious and look in the mirror with yourself. Where do you put the false spirituality lens and masks? Where do you wear those masks? Oh, this sounds trendy. Oh, this sounds good for marketing. Let's just call it this. Nope. Where do you do that? Because you're going to be a real good match for a false light fucking guru to suck you in when you yourself are doing that to lesser degrees. You got to knock that shit off. And you have to devote the time and the dedication, the warrior's work that it actually takes past the test of initiation to become a divine being. Oh, what does it mean to become a divine being on this hellhole that we were born into, that you chose to come into this lifetime, to this prison planet that you've chosen to be born into? What it takes to walk through hell and come out and create heaven when you were born in hell on this planet. What that takes isn't some fucking retreat or a course in something. No, not good enough. That's not going to transform your whole life or this planet. What it takes to become a divine being for real with what we have to work with, what we were born into on this planet. Let that sink in. Because you're not doing it in a matter of months or weeks or even a couple of years. Not fucking possible. So there's a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. You need to be willing to do the work. Otherwise, you're just false light like they are. No different. To become different, we got to do the work, not just a bunch of fucking plant medicine. Let's wake up for real, people. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.